Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. Hopefully you all can hear me alright. Let me know in the chat. Hope you all are doing well. I apologize for not streaming yesterday. I just saw the charts, and at least when I was looking at the charts, Bitcoin was like within a $400 range, so I didn't really consider. I was just like, this is just going to be pretty much a waste of time for everyone involved, so I just decided not to do it and worked on my bot a little bit instead. And talking about that, I did finish the optimization of it. I was running some machine learning code on it to optimize the parameters. It seemed that anything above 80% was overfitted, at least to what I wanted. So I do have it down to consistent throughout all market trending, ranging 80% back-tested profitable rate, with I think the amount of trades was something like 60 on the 50-minute time frame, and 30-minute the same profit percentage was close to like 150 or something like that. So a decent sample size. I will begin streaming that a bit later, and also I'm just talking about this as people scrolling, and also I'm gonna eventually just like open it up for people to try it for free, for maybe like a week or 2 weeks, like a little free trial type of thing, but also just kind of like beta testing. There's gonna be parameters that everyone can change. I'm gonna have my own, like I'll give people my like preferred optimized parameters that the algorithm has chosen for that 80% hit rate. So yeah, that's what I've been up to, and that's what is to come in the next few days. Hopefully I'm just gonna finish up like the user interface on TradingView for the thing, so it's more comprehensible for people to change parameters and actually know what's going on. So just be alert in the Discord, I guess, because there'll be a separate channel for that, and everybody can just be like, I want to try, and then I can just give it to you for a week or two, and see how it goes out. And then eventually, I guess, yeah, if it does actually pan out to how it is, I guess I will actually have to have people buy it. I can't give away a money printer for free, unfortunately, unless that wouldn't really work too much longer. But definitely, like, you'll get like 2 weeks to try for free before you even get to pay it for it. So there shouldn't be many complaints about that, hopefully. All right, cool. Let's just jump into the charts now. So coming in back to the Bitcoin chart, just been bouncing off of this value area low, which we've been talking about for quite some time, right? So I'm not even going to talk about the daily time frame. I still expect it to break down at some point, but coming back to small time frames, let's just go to the 1 hour time frame right here. And we've really just been stuck within this range for a few days, so it's just been longing the retests of the range lows, and shorting the value area high, and that's pretty much it. There's literally not much to talk about. Is this thing even skewed? We could take a look to see if we get a bit of a bias. I mean, this thing, referred to the point of control. Slightly skewed to the downside, so you might get a break up, but I mean, that's not even, I wouldn't even really consider that to be a slight break. Hello everyone, this too shall pass. Hustler. Yeah, it's been just a boring day. It's a pretty rough time to try to grow a YouTube channel. But it is what it is, and we continue through it. So, honestly, not much to talk about on the Bitcoin chart. There's no heavy skew. Upside targets are still going to be this level right here at 2073, 20,733. If we want to look at the Bitstamp chart, just see if my macro level got retested. No, oh sorry, that's 2160. Okay, no, so I highly doubt you come back and retest all the way up here. Mind you, just coming back to this chart, Bybit, you know, there's a possibility that you come up and fill this fair leg up to 20,877 before any continuation to the downside. But for now, there's no real clear indication of where we're breaking down to. Macro-wise, I still think we're going to break down, but you know, closing above this value area high will signify that we're going to break out of this range. Closing below this value area low will signify that we're at least going to retest this value, this range low once more. So yeah, you could talk about that wick on ETH chart from earlier today. Cool. I will look at the ETH chart. I have not looked at the ETH chart today. Thank you very much. Post. I've just been hammering away at coding. Small time frames, maybe? This wick? Is this what you're referring to right here? I'm going to assume so, unless maybe it's on the Binance chart. But just let me know in the chat if that's the case. If I'm just looking at wrong charts. So I think in order to understand this level, we should probably just zoom out a bit more. Come down to here. So if we take our just Fibonacci levels, and it seems to be, this looks quite similar to a lot of coins' daily charts. Just on a small time frame, right, where we have this range, we have it relatively to this swing low, we have a uptrend going on. So I think it would be wise to treat this as a range, and I don't think you should really treat it as anything else, unless you're talking about really small term time frames. So come back to here, and let me just get rid of this. Alright, we had this fair value gap filled out from before. We broke above that actually, and now we're just coming back to retest this fair value gap right here. So this might be a good long opportunity. We'll look at small time frames just to get a bit of a clearer picture. If you're referring to this wick right here, I don't really, unless we turn on our PVA candles, right? I'm sure this is a high volume candle. You're gonna at least fill it a little bit. I wouldn't put too much significance on it. You filled the wick, which was good, and then a clear play was that you just wick above it, close below it. There's your swing failure pattern. So the wick itself, I don't have too much to talk about in terms of like why it got there, but yeah. You could say it stopped in the general direction of this high volume node. Right? We just filled this high volume node. But I wouldn't even consider that to be too much, so. Bybit, I'm on the 3 minute. Okay, I'll go on the 3 minute. Maybe you're talking about USDT perp as well. Maybe you're not talking about USDT perp, because sometimes those things are a bit different. Okay, yeah, there you go. There you go. There's the wick. Wow. That's nasty. That's why I like to use USD perp. Things like that don't happen as often. There's not much to say about it other than you came back and just retested this low. It's just, I would assume it's just, it was just the books were just very thin and someone just placed a huge market order. It's just a 1-minute candle, so I don't. Was at the time of news maybe as well? I don't think so, right? I personally put very little to no weight on wicks in regards to ranges or price action in general. Open and closes are what matters. Yeah, agreed. Especially breaking out of things, value area highs, value area lows, range highs, range lows. Are definitely closes are definitely more significant. However, the only thing I really like to use wicks on are like swing failure patterns, but that also plays into the open and close. So, yeah. As time goes on, like you care less and less about catching the wicks and care more about like where's it close, I guess. As at least that's what I found. Of course, if that wick happens to stop you out or whatnot, it may not seem so. It's yeah. Yeah, it's just a crazy manipulation wick, I guess you could interpret it that as. I don't know. I don't know if I would interpret that as just like manipulation, especially if it didn't happen on other charts. I think it's just more the books were just so thin. I guess we can take our volume and just see. We can go down to like the seconds time frame. I just want volume. And just see the amount of volume that was placed at 12:30, and then we can just come back and just see. So it's a ridiculously high amount of volume, as you kind of assume. And then just coming back. I apologize for my dog in the background. 12:30 itself. Oh, you did have a bit of a, but that's not as significant. And you did have a bit of a volume increase as well. So, I don't know. Maybe it was just bots going off, algorithms going off, triggering that. But it's interesting to say the least. Okay, cool. Suppose I wonder more if that has taken out green in that area, and less likely to return there. Want to top up my level. Okay, suppose it. You want to see if. Okay, I understand. It's like, has it done its job? I guess is basically what you're saying. Like, I would just scroll out a little bit more for this. You could definitely assume that this is just retesting this low. And if you want to be like have that as a bias, I guess you can take it as a bias. But yeah. If you want to like mark out this level and just see why it's so high volume, maybe this is why. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but excuse me. Nah, yeah, I don't know. Just probably illiquid books and then just limit orders held up that high, that held up that low. But I was pretty honest. When liquidity is thin, there's a huge order that comes in. It takes a lot of shocking ticks range just to get the other side filled as well. But added perk cleans the clock and stops a bunch of motherfuckers at the part. Yeah. So it's just manipulation, illiquid books. I don't know what to call it. Just a big order came in, obviously, by the volumes. There was just a lot of orders. Cool. So let's just actually, I guess, just jump into Ethereum itself. Just do my analysis on it. See if anything has changed. Ethereum has been at least a bit more interesting. On higher to 9 frames as Bitcoin, rather than Bitcoin. So let me just flip this around. Ooh. Cool. So, not much to speak about on the Fibonacci levels. At least for me, you might get a bounce off the 618. Previous to 4 hours support resistance level, or interpreted to be value area high. It is up to you, I guess, whatever you want to believe in. I like to believe in the value area high, more than anything, really, or at least just the previous support. So you're coming back to retest this value area high, and to me, Any closure below that would then signify continuation to the downside. So if you close below 1610 roughly in the 4-hour time frame, you're most likely to continue to the downside, and those targets would essentially just look like this previous wick low, honestly. So I guess good thing that you brought it up. Right here at 1567, just come back and fill this wick, take any liquidity within that, and then we can take it from there. That also, I would interpret that to be our like previous low, which let this set this new high. So I'll just put this as our MSB line, even though we didn't break it just yet. That's what I would interpret it as, and if you break below that, close below that, specifically 1565, then you're going to continue to the downside. Pretty nasty targets. But until then, I think targets up to 1655, which is the 786 Fibonacci level, is going to be your first targets, especially since especially if you close below that value area high. So closing above that value area high, you're going to continue up to the 786. Close below, you most likely continue to retest this level right here. Let's just see our TDI, if anything has any divergences. BTC needs to pump and alt needs to get bent. Yeah, I'll take a look at BTC dominance as well. Yeah, you do have a bit of a hidden bull forming. But I'll wait for confirmation on that, I guess. Smaller term time frames, you might start getting a bounce just right about here. But just be wary of that. Coming back to SPX, and then we will, just to see how that's doing, then I can go over Bitcoin dominance. This is going to be a bit more like, oh, cool, hit our level yesterday, guys. Cool, so it came back, retested this level that I've been waiting for quite some time. I guess I missed it yesterday during, missing yesterday's stream. Wick below it, which is fine, close above it, which is good. So this daily uptrend, for me, is not invalidated just yet. Like this small daily uptrend is not invalidated just yet. I was expecting a bounce off of this level, and that's exactly what we got, which is good. But doesn't seem, I would say, this to be our line. We just didn't get our market structure flip on smaller time frames just enough to change it. Mind you, it is a Friday, so pull back, big move is to be expected. So it's not too, this isn't too concerning. I would just hope we close above this. If we don't close above this, then it's going to get real ugly next week. Closing above this level, I think, is you'll probably be all right. And you might get continuation upside. I know we had some news today, but I do think you're probably just going to continue upside. Possibly next week, and then we'll take it from there. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Ooh, it's getting nasty. Ooh. Okay. So I think I took a volume profile of this huge macro range that we've had set up for quite some time. Right, and we bounced off this value area low, came back above the point of control, hold the point of control support, then continue to the upside to these like mini range that we have forming. And now we're just coming back to retest this low. This would be very, very, very interesting. I mean, like we would be tapping into levels that we've essentially never hit. If we were to break below this level, this range low, and it's especially interesting that it's happening this time at this point in the market, all right? When Bitcoin is definitely near its macro lows, I would safely assume, right? We're still looking at $9,000, $10,000. But you know, these typical extreme move downs, especially if you're gonna break this new low, typically only happens in alt season, right? When altcoins are flying off, and that hasn't been really happening lately. So I'm hesitant to say that you're gonna get alt season at this point, but you might. With just with the way this chart's looking, it might. This move down could also just be right the Ethereum Bitcoin valuation. We've been looking at that for quite some time. It makes sense. We'll take a look at total 3, just to take a look at the altcoins themselves. But it would make sense that as Ethereum 2.0 is coming out and they're trying to make the product better, so they're pumping Ethereum out, or whatever your theory is for that, for the reason why Ethereum's pumping right now. That Bitcoin dominance falls due to that. So it makes sense. I wouldn't put too much weight on this, to be completely honest. But I think if the Bitcoin dominance were to break down now, a lot of the standing macro theories about Bitcoin dominance kind of just go out the window. Which I honestly haven't really used Bitcoin dominance. I never really understood it completely. But take a look at total 3. I don't see a reason why. Excuse me. The Bitcoin dominance is looking that way. So I will pretty much put all the blame on Ethereum for that one right there. But you know, you can come back to this video and laugh at me if all the altcoins blast off to the moon within the next month for whatever reason. Cool. So at this point, you guys have any coins you guys want me to look at? There's not much to talk about within this market, to be honest. It is purely, pretty much at this point, a scalper's market. Very boring week. So yeah, just kind of a chill stream. Chill Friday stream. Relaxing. I got questions about bot life. It's very cool here today, which is nice. I think it's like 68. Oh no, it's 72 now. It was cool earlier. 72 degrees, which is a nice cool off from like the 90 degrees that we've been consistently having. I've been mainly trading ADA lately. Thoughts on OPU. Alright. We'll take a look at ADA. And then just a quick look at ADA just to see why he's trading it so much. Maybe there's some actual volatility. No. Maybe a daily time frame. No, not really. It's just chopping around like everything else. What have you been doing, sir? Have you just been trading these little macro ranges? Yeah, you need, like I've been saying, I'll just give my thoughts, 2 cents. You need a confirmation candle to get that to actually confirm a breakout out of this. And you haven't got one yet, so you haven't really invalidated this value area low. You rejected off this point of control that we have set up, so you most likely continue with that to the downside for now, but just like everything else, you're stuck within this really small, really tight range. If we want like a minuscule range, we could take something like this as well, and you're probably going to come back and retest this point control during the weekend at 44.66, and breaking market structure. There's not much market structure here to begin with. So I don't know how you've been trading that. Maybe you can give a little insight what time frame you've been working on, or have you just been trading the chop on higher term time frames, which would also be cool. OPU. Let's go over that. Or my computer's on freeze. Yay. Come on. OPU USDT. I trade higher time frames mostly these days. 12, 4 hour. Yeah. Same here. Same here. OPU. Okay. OPU, I think we actually went over this chart. I think I started in Bybit and then went, no, let's go over it on the Binance chart. Maybe? Maybe. Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. Cool. So, what I was hoping for was if we hold this level and get it back above this previous support and resistance line, also our market structure break at 136.2, that we pull back into this bearish order block and then continue down to fill this fair value gap that we had marked out on the daily. We did not get a breakout out of that range, but we did come down and fill this fair value gap slightly. Let me just fix this just a little bit to this wick. Came back and did fill this fair value gap, not completely. We do expect it still to come back down and completely fill it, and then pump out of that, which is fine and perfect. And then we do have this small range that's forming on the 4-hour time frame, right? Just might make it a bit easier to look at. And you notice here how low volume it is outside of this value area. So you would expect it to come back and at least retest, not retest, but come back and fill this zone with some volume. And then where to reject off? Probably this 786. Yep. So it came back, reject off the 786. Just keep in mind that you do have a fair value gap within this candle down to this value area high at $1.197. So I do expect to pull back to this value area high, retest it, close below. Then you probably get good continuation to the point of control, which is right next to it. Holding it, then you're probably going to just continue and retest this range high right here at $1.36.5. If you do actually break out of this zone, then you would presume this target of $1.54. I apologize. Then we could look for continuation downside and rejection off that level. But until we can get a closure above that level, bias within this range still to maintain the downside and fill this fair value gap at 97 cents, roughly. Heavy night, sunglasses. No, the sunglasses just help me calm down sometimes. Yeah. No, there's nothing to the sunglasses. But I was wearing them and I thought it would be funny to take. I thought the thumbnail was funny. So, but yeah, I just wear them to calm down sometimes. This too shall pass. Perfect example of your thin liquidity example was KDI and Binance. Was that there was 70% wick on the 1 minute, assuming it was one large one the other day. This too shall pass because it was added at him. But yeah, generally large wicks are large wicks on low liquidity coins are just big market orders and things of that nature. Some people think, I mean, I guess you can interpret that as manipulation or whatever, but I don't know. Cool. Any other coin you guys want me to look at? Anything you guys want to talk about? For some reason, like Streamlabs, the viewership is broken, so it still says on my corner that there's 0 viewers, even though everyone's participating. So I have a bit of a complex. All right. Well, that's it. I'll let you all go enjoy this Friday. Hope you all have a good weekend. Here it's gonna be actually this is pretty important, I guess, if you don't live in the United States. Monday is Labor Day, so the stock exchange will be closed Monday. New York Stock Exchange will be closed Monday. So just be wary of that. I don't know if some of you know all that. I know we have a lot of people from outside the U.S., so just be aware that Monday, New York session will most likely also just be a weekend. But have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves. Remember to join Discord. Links in the description below. Bybit link, 30% all your maker and taker fees. Just make a new account. Links in the description below as well. And have a good weekend, guys. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.